Ladies and gentlemen, you have more people. You have more former government officials being interviewed by John Durham.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have
Lord.
more people.
Probably should put that on mute. You don't need to hear me in stereo. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you so very, very much. To my super chat, thank you so very much. William Barr, John Durham, they're interviewing more people. John O'Brennan. They're interviewing John O'Brennan. Oh, Trumpy. He might have. I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. They asked him. This is one of the main reasons President Trump will be reelected. Because Democrats live their lives with appeals to authority. They live their lives. Well, the polls say this. Well, the polls were wrong. The intelligence community says this. Well, the intelligence community has been wrong since, even before it really existed. Pearl Harbor was an intelligence failure. Then you had the Bay of Pigs and a failure. Then you had the Gulf of Tonkin, a major intelligence failure. Then you had, we fast forward to, they didn't predict the fall of the Berlin Wall. You could fast forward to WMD, another intelligence failure. And then Facebook happened. Facebook ads and Twitter bots and Russian interference happened while these people, these clowns, were trying to set up and frame Trump with a dossier purchased by Madam Secretary. And God bless her. She's suffered for our sins, and God bless her. I'm done. Like I said, I am done trying to oppose the Clintons, or I love them now. And let me tell you, if it wasn't for President Trump, I'd be voting for Hillary Clinton. She's fantastic. She's wonderful. She's a good person. She's done a lot of great things, but she honestly has the gravitas, the money, and the will and desire that is both Clintons will never stop trying to attain whatever it is they want. So I don't believe this charade for 1 second. I don't know how it's going to happen, but Clinton will end up being across that ballot. She'll end up being nominee, and she will have a chance at being the first female president. I'm voting for President Trump. And to my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams, and you allow me to remain an independent voice. But they've just recently been interviewing John O'Brennan. Oh, Sally. Don't listen to what Clapper said about me. I long for you. I think of you all the time. I dream of the day when we can be together, watching Trumpy in Pelican Bay, serving mashed potatoes in the morning to prisoners. John O'Brennan said that I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. They asked him, do you have any evidence? The reason President Trump is going to win, and the reason Durham will eventually indict people after the election, which is after President Trump wins, and I don't care if the report is given prior to the election, that's not relevant. The Durham report can easily lead to indictments after the election. They broke a legal statute called 18 U.S. Code 371. I was published in the Federalist. You can look that up. Just type in H.A. Goodman Federalist, and you will see the article talking about how McCabe and Comey should be indicted under the 18 U.S. Code 371 statute. You cannot utilize the United States government as a tool, as a political tool to go after opponents. You cannot utilize a dossier purchased by your direct political rival under the... You cannot utilize a dossier purchased by your direct political rival under the premise that it's raw intelligence. You can't do that. But when they interviewed John Brennan, they said, do you have any evidence? He goes, I don't have evidence, I have intelligence. Christopher! My leftist friends are convinced Trump will lose. Deja vu 2016. Oh my God, Christopher. It'll just make their meltdown even worse. You cannot have cities being... You can't have cities crumbling before our very eyes and chaos and mayhem And the polls are dreadfully wrong. The polls we learned from 2016 are meant to fabricate intent, or they're meant to fabricate emotion or manufacture emotion. They're public relations ploys meant to influence people, not reflect how people actually think. They're not meant to actually reflect how people think. That's why you can Christopher, we can do this all day. Here, Clinton up 12, October 2016. And she'll lose again. She'll go up against Trump again, and she'll lose again. Here, CNN. And if they don't go with Clinton, they were the most inept, incompetent imbeciles in the history of politics. I'm not a fan, but she's the best thing they have. You hear that, Clinton campaign? The Democratic Party, the best thing the Democrats have is Hillary Clinton. It's the best thing they have. And when it's like, I can't win. I can't win. Do you understand? When I said Clinton would lose, I was Satan's spawn. When I say Clinton's the best thing they have, I'm also a bad person. I can't win. You can't win. But here, new poll shows Clinton over Trump by double digits, October 23rd. But this is CNN, the trusted news and name. The trusted name and news. Hillary Clinton has a 12-point lead over Donald Trump and has reached 50% support nationally among likely voters. And a new ABC News tracking poll shows. The poll shows Clinton with 50% support to Trump's 38%. She didn't win by 12 points. The polls were off. October 23rd, 2016. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So you're looking at 2 weeks prior. In 2016, new poll shows Clinton over Trump by double digits. They will never learn because of the arrogance and the hubris and the narcissism. They are such buffoons, it's unbelievable. They're so delusional, but that's good. Never interrupt your adversary when they're doing the same things all over again. They're so utterly incompetent and delusional. Clinton vaults to a double-digit lead, boosted by broads? No, by a broad disapproval of Trump. Hillary Clinton has vaulted to a double-digit advantage in the inaugural ABC News 2016 election tracking poll. That's ABC News. Okay, here. Clinton up here, 10. Clinton holds an 11-point lead nationally over Trump. Oh my God. October 16th. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Oh, that's right. Oh, my God. That meant that only, 3 weeks before the election in 2016, she held an 11-point national lead over Trump. What does it matter? The whole thing is the whole thing doesn't even, it's completely a charade. It's a complete charade. That's why I'm telling you Hillary's going to, but I'm telling you. So Christopher, we're going to get back to William Barr, but Clinton holds 11-point lead, a national lead over Trump. October 16th, NBC News. I don't want to sneeze. NBC News, Washington, Wall Street Journal poll. October polls showed Clinton up by double digits with weeks to go and just a couple weeks to go in the election. Here, Clinton up 10. Let's see if we can find November. Clinton carries 17-point poll lead over Trump into final days, Siena College Research Institute. November 6th. November 8th was the election. Oh my God, I'm going to have to read this. This is fantastic. Oh, I love this so much. Clinton carries 17-point lead over Trump into final days. Did you ever hear about, this is another reason, did you ever hear about Russian interference when Clinton had a 17-point lead over Trump? You never heard of it because it never happened. We don't know which Facebook ads. We don't know which Facebook ads influenced Wisconsin or Michigan or Pennsylvania voters. We have no clue which Twitter bots altered the impressionable minds of people in swing states. They were just using Twitter, and they were just trying to converse. And the Russians came through their sophisticated campaign of deception. It's so, and now, U.S. intelligence say Russia's trying to help Trump again. U.S. intelligence should simply focus on protecting the country from actual threats, not trying to ingratiate itself to Democrats or ingratiate themselves to Democrats. Oh my God, U.S. intelligence. If U.S. intelligence said Trump was a great president, they'd say, like, well, you know what? Gulf of Tonkin. They would sound like me. Democrats only gravitate towards what they can. Their arguments are predicated upon convenience, not logic, not reason. Is it convenient to say that Clapper is on my side? Great. If Comey wrote the Comey letter, we can't stand him. If he writes the Comey memo, we love him. The Steele dossier, that's fine. It's Russian help, but it's against Trump. But Facebook ads, oh my God, Trump must have worked with Russia. Maybe somebody within his campaign had something to do with Debbie Wasserman Schultz being forced to resign. So every single misdeed or corrupt activity that they got caught for, every single thing that people found out about them that made them repulsive to voters, they then blamed on Russia for informing the country. And now the U.S. intelligence is saying that if you ask any questions about Biden and Ukraine, that's what Russia wants. It's like, at what point do people just say, this is so absurd? My second nephew, hello. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I just spoke to my web designer today. We're going to get that website up and running soon. My personal website, hagoodman.com. So, but there will be a newsletter. So if you want to be part of a newsletter, just email me at contactgoodman78@gmail.com. Say you want to be part of the newsletter, and you'll be notified about everything, any articles I write, my live streams, my uploads, anything new I'm doing, any new channel I create, H.A. Goodman Cooking Channel, H.A. Goodman Gardening, who knows, another Second Amendment channel, who knows. But you'll be updated. This is a Politico article. Clinton looks poised to lock it up. Trump dashes across the country as Clinton seeks to solidify swing states after the FBI cloud lifts. They were so confident, just like they're confident now, And they're not going to go with Biden. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm telling you, my second nephew, thank you again. Paul Bartlett, hello. My second nephew, thank you again. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the whole thing is the biggest charade of all time. But you can look, I mean, this is hilarious. Why Hillary Clinton lost the Atlantic, and you click on it. We're working on this page. We're having trouble displaying the page you're looking for. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe because one of the editors got word that Clinton is actually going to be vice president, or she'll eventually be nominee somehow. Who knows? I don't care how it happens. I don't care. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. Who cares? President Trump's going to win. I mean, we all win. I benefit. You benefit. It doesn't really matter. When he wins again, he goes 8 years. When he goes 8 years again, when Trump wins again on November 3rd, oh my God Almighty! Oh my God Almighty! Who knows how they're going to react? Who knows how they're going to react? So, it's a situation where just type in John Brennan. John Brennan. Let's see. And they're interviewing him. John Durham set to interview John Brennan. Okay, so this is how they do. This is how government officials get away with everything. Well, you see, we were given intelligence that Russia could be trying to interfere in Trump's campaign, or try to forge alliances with Trump, or that even some Trump officials were working with Russia. Did you have any evidence at all? What was the intelligence? Well, it was a Steele dossier, and it was other countries. Why didn't you notify President Trump? Well, you notified Dianne Feinstein. Well, we didn't want, it could have been him also working, because we just don't know. Well, I mean, you had information. You had no information from the United States government, correct? Well, we did have information from other sources. Did you have any information from within the United States government? Because the 8 intelligence officials were indicted based on Company 1's analysis. Company 1 was CrowdStrike, and that firm was outsourced by the DNC. Why would you allow the Steele dossier, purchased by Clinton and the DNC, and CrowdStrike, outsourced by the DNC, to serve as the foundation for all of your evidence against Trump and his campaign? Did you have anything from within the United States intelligence community? No, we didn't. Did you have any direct evidence that Trump's campaign was working with Russia? No, we didn't. So you investigated him for 3 years based on hearsay and gossip because you had a hunch, you had a suspicion. Well, then go read Peter Schweizer's book, Clinton Cash. There's a lot of suspicion there. There's a lot of suspicion. So that's how, so you have the Washington Examiner, John Durham set to interview John Brennan, John O'Brennan. They're eventually going to, they have the text messages, they have the, they have the evidence of bias. They have the evidence that you have. Not just, they didn't just, so Inspector General Michael Horowitz did not have all of the information. When he said, there's no bias, he didn't have all the text messages. He didn't have Peter Strzok's text messages, all of them. he disregarded the "We'll Stop Trump" text message, and he might not have had that text message. How on earth could he have had that text message and still come to the conclusion that the lead investigator wanted to stop Trump and there was just no bias there? Trump was set up and framed, and all roads lead to Madam Secretary. I've given up. So you know what? There's something I almost find it amusing how I don't even find it infuriating or frustrating. I've given that up. I almost enjoy it because you have to understand. I have President Trump. I'm a supporter of President Trump. He fights, and he's fighting back. And you have Hillary Clinton. All she does is fight. But I spent a year, 2 years writing in the Huffington Post, the Hill, Salon, Jerusalem Post. I was published in a whole bunch of places saying that Bernie Sanders can do it, and even the left, the wonderful, naive, brilliant imbeciles who were like, oh yeah, how Bernie could still win, HA could win. Oh, it's like, well, if you had that mentality, you wouldn't get stomped on all the time by the Democratic Party. And they became me during this election. Now Bernie Sanders is speaking with John Kasich. You know what? Nothing says step off, billionaire class, like speaking with John Kasich. I know all the billionaires around the world in Silicon Valley and around the country are shivering right now in fear. They're petrified. They're quaking in their boots. Because when I speak with John Kasich, we'll be that much closer to Medicare for All and removing the influence the billionaire class has over all of our lives. Bernie doesn't fight. He's a good human being, but he doesn't fight. And so Clinton is amusing. All she does is continually fight, continually. I know Bernie was cheated and he didn't fight. Okay, of course I was wrong with Bernie Sanders. He was cheated and he didn't fight back. That is a big reason why I've come to the conclusion there's no way they go with Biden. I think that their mentality has to be, okay, if you give any electorate enough time to truly evaluate Madam Secretary, they'll come to the conclusion that, from Whitewater to the Clinton email servers, there might be something going on with these scandals and controversies. It might not just be a right-wing, obsession. There might just be something going on. That's why you get this hilarious. You get Democrats. Democrats are the ones that don't want Clinton to be nominee. First of all, the notion that Biden won the nomination, that's funny. They didn't really have a primary. They hid behind the pandemic when they wanted to, and they told people to go vote during the pandemic in person. Where were the mail-in ballots in March and April? How come they didn't immediately switch to all mail-in ballots? Then, if you remember, the spin was, well, it's our God-given right. It's our gift to democracy to vote. It's our right under the Constitution to vote for the Democratic primary. So, in Illinois, Arizona, Florida, and Wisconsin, people voted in person. They voted in the rain against Medicare for All. But did Bernie Sanders, initially he was, oh my God, he was the front runner. Then immediately it became Biden, and you will see almost immediately that will take place with Clinton. See, I like 45 ACP as opposed to 9mm. I'm never a fan of 9mm. I don't know why. I'm just never a fan of that. Only 45 ACP. That's really that's what I prefer. Trade feeds! Did Biden drink some? Trade feeds! Joe Boxer! Good evening from the front line, sir. Did you get to watch the Stephen Scrage interview? No, I did not. I did not, Joe. I have to. Let's see. I have to eventually watch that. I have to eventually watch that. There's a Federalist article. About it. What we learned when we learned Sunday from insider Stephen Scrage. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. But I'm going to check this out. Actually, I'll go ahead and make sure I read that article and then see the Stephen Halper. That's right. I mean, there's so many. There are like so many. Here's okay. The real why. Okay, so I'll definitely check that out. He was on Fox News as well. Maria Bartiromo. That's I think what you're referring to. So yeah, I will definitely check that out. Joe, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. But there's actually I think people should really think about this election from a bird's eye you should view this election from a bird's eye perspective. You need to see everything in aggregate. Okay, don't get caught up in what's happening that day. Look at everything in aggregate from a bird's eye view, from the view of a jet, or just from the view of far up in the sky, looking down and seeing everything. What's taking place? Like, ask questions. Is Twitter going to be important when Democrats lose? Do you really see Biden becoming nominee eventually, even if he accepts it? Do you really see him debating Trump? Do you really see media? Does the media really have the ability to make Biden look good in a debate? Is that possible? I mean, ask these questions. The questions people ask. See, critical thinking is about asking simple, good questions. Critical thinking is about asking simple, good questions that should lead to logical answers. You should simply ask, do you think that Biden would win any debate with Trump? Did Biden win any debate when he debated any other person? Hillary Clinton could very well be the vice president, the VP pick, and then we're off to the races. And then we're off, and they're off. Do you think Kamala Harris withholding exculpatory evidence numerous times in cases where the defendant could lose his life, do you think that's going to be good? Kamala Harris is now the current frontrunner, and she withheld exculpatory evidence. Does that make any sense at all? And then you have Madam Secretary saying, well, the person has to be ready from day one. Has to be ready from day one. Has to be a friend. Biden loves me. Has to be, what did Clinton say about Clinton on Biden VP? If Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in 2016, what makes anyone think they're telling the truth this year? And I'm the biggest Hillary Clinton supporter on the internet. Are you kidding me? When she does become nominee, I'm going to make sure anyone on the left that says a derogatory word, they'll have me to contend with. If you say a derogatory word about Deborah Wasserman, you'll have me to contend with. Nobody loves her more than me. Biden has great choices to defeat wannabe authoritarian. Interesting how Madam Secretary is always in the news every day. This is such a critical election. I think he's got great choices. We're up against a wannabe authoritarian. See, again, they live in their own world. Like, Fox News did this to President Obama during his first 4 years. It didn't work. It did not work. The hyperbole doesn't work. The difference is now all of media is a left-leaning Fox News. That's the big... So, Fox News did this to President Obama, this type of thing, this hyperbole, these outrageous allegations. Not in aggregate, the 8 years, he wasn't that great of he wasn't a great president. He made, especially destroying a country in Libya, whole bunch of things. Drinking Flint water and saying it's safe to drink while it was still poisonous. We can go on forever. The litany of things. From a left-leaning perspective, deporting more human beings than anyone on the planet. And then they obsess over Stephen Miller. But of course, if you deport more human beings than anyone on the planet, you can do so if you're a Democrat. As long as you're nice. As long as you speak nicely. But the 2016 nominee explained how she chose her running mate. She was looking for a person who could literally be president tomorrow. That's Clinton. I could work with and it could help me win. So within the Democratic Party, who has the name recognition, the money, the network of Clinton? Do people across the country know everything there is to know about Susan Rice or Kamala Harris? No. They know everything about Clinton. She almost won. So she could very well be his vice president. I'm not saying it's a certainty, but Dean Diefendorf, hello from Miami. Thank you for this forum. Dean, thank you. Thank you as always for watching. Hope all is well. Hello from Manhattan. Thank you for this forum. Thank you, Dean. Dean Diefendorf, thank you. Thank you as always for watching. Joe Boxer. Back to the wall talking small arms tonight. Thank you for all you do and talk about. Thank you. Joe Boxer, thank you. Thank you, Joe Boxer, thank you. Yeah. The great thing is that it's totally algorithm free, so I could say 45 ACP and it's like way underneath the radar. Even to load, just loading the magazine's easier. I don't know. I find it, Crypto Morpheus! Look out for IBM's Watson voice if I... Crypto Morpheus is the man. Crypto Morpheus is the man. Oh my God, that's good. Let's be like, Donald Trump is lying again. Donald Trump is lying again. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, you know the thing, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh my God. Crypto Morpheus. You know the deal, man. Come on, man. Oh, it's so corny. It's so corny. Hey, come on, man. Why don't I take a cognitive test, man? Are you junkie? Hey, junkie, you want to snort up with some coke? Come on, man. You cocaine cowboy? You want to snort some coke? Come on, man. You're junkie? Why would I take a test? You didn't see me ride my bike? Come on, man. How could I ride a bike if I had a cognitive problem? You snorting cocaine? You junkie? Come on, man. You know the deal, man. Come on. Jimbo! Madam Secretary to be drafted, nominated, and chosen. Emma is VP pick at convention. Chosen Emma. Why am I not reading this correctly? And choose. Oh, no. It would be. She'll be chosen as vice president. Watch this. She'll be chosen as vice president, and Biden will be riding his bike the day after. And then you'll have Bubba Bill. Oh my goodness, what am I doing with these mountain lions and these jaguars and these cougars? Oh, I like the cougars, I'll tell you that right now. Oh, no, the animal cougars. Oh, they are animals. It was so, you know what, Chuck Todd, it was so bizarre. I was walking my pet lion, and Biden was riding his bike across the path. And I let go for a second, and oh my goodness. But I'm glad he's okay. We can actually attach his cranium to, what was that Star Trek thing? Yeah, it's an actual port. It's like a giant robot. So he's fine now. But you know what? We just gotta do what we gotta do. Come on, man. You snorting the coke again, man? Come on. You junkie? This is who they're gonna be. At least with Trump, what they did was they distorted everything. He said he's demonizing all immigrants. So he made a crude remark, very crude remark. I'll say that. But he wasn't all immigrants. You lied again, and you're gonna lose. And they lose again. They're gonna lie again. They're gonna lie again. They're just lying all the time. Mark Skog. Love the one-on-one 45. My next one. Oh, 357. Love 357. I have a 357. And then 45 ACP. I have a 357. Glock has single stack now. Glock? Really? Oh, 45, not 357. Yeah, the Glock 20. Glock 21, sorry. Glock 21, I think. No, wait, which one is the 45 ACP? Glock 20. Yeah, Glock 21. Glock 20 is 10 millimeter, right? I was this close to getting a Glock 20. This close. Then I'm like, 10 millimeter is like really hard and expensive to find. Hard to find and expensive. So 45 ACP is like relatively cheap. Not as cheap as 9 millimeter, but Mark Skog. Love 357. Love it. I love it. Mark Skog. Thank you. Mark Skog. Twan Win. Where are the 30,000? Where are they? Where are they? Twan Win, where are they? And that's interesting too, because you have a situation where that's all forgotten. That's the genius, Twan, and everyone here. That's the genius. That is the genius behind making sure that Madam Secretary doesn't become nominee until the very last second. The genius is everyone has forgotten, like literally everyone has forgotten they've forgotten deplorable Brian CZ 97B. But they've all forgotten exactly nobody knows anymore. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows anymore what Clinton did, or nobody knows anymore. Nobody cares. This email server so long ago, but her emails, buttery mails. Oh, they're so happy about it. Buttery mails. This is why they're gonna lose again. Because they've turned the biggest cybersecurity debacle of all time into these hilarious, ludicrous, absurd phrases. But her emails, huh? The world is ending. No, not for Trump supporters. We actually like the president. There happen to be 63 million supporters of President Trump, and I just love how his base is so small. Twan Win, where are the emails? That's a good question. Where are the emails? Then they're like, oh my God, Trump Jr. It's well, you didn't. Nobody was impeached on anything to do with working with Russia. Nobody. So but you look, ladies and gentlemen, at Pete Solano. You'll find Biden with a bunch of cobras. Pete Solano, thank you. Pete Solano, thank you. Whatever's going to take place, I find it very difficult to believe that, what was the point of the past 4 years? You had 3 years of an obsession regarding, or 2 years of an obsession regarding the Mueller probe. Mueller time, it's happening, Mueller time is happening, Mueller time is happening. And you had this obsession. And so Pete Solano, everyone here, all your favorite pundits on the left, even the Medicare for All ones who said vote for Clinton, were obsessing over Trump Russia. They were obsessing over Trump withholding military assistance. But think of the mentality you have to have. He does something, therefore the motive is obviously a malicious or criminal motive. When millions flow into the Clinton Foundation, it is a coincidence, do you understand? And to even insinuate that there could be a corrupt motive is just a fantasy. But Trump does something, and because, correlation definitely equals causation with Trump. Correlation never equals causation with Democrats. In fact, direct evidence, like Debbie Wasserman Schultz being forced to resign, is not enough to get Democrats to say that they'll cheat Bernie Sanders or they'll cheat again in 2020. Okay, here's a little, newsflash for the entire planet. Oh, they almost 600 people watching, and thank you for watching. God bless you. Tell all your wonderful left-leaning friends. Actually, don't tell all your left-leaning friends, because don't debate anyone with Trump derangement ever, ever, ever. Don't even talk about politics. But the reason you had an app here, Iowa app, okay? App was made by Clinton campaign. For Clinton campaign veterans firm is behind Iowa debacle. Ever been to an Iowa? I don't even want to say it, because then the algorithm, of course. I'll just say it like this. This is Biden. He's like, hey, little lady, ever been to an Iowa primary? I was one. I was a primary. Because if you say it the way Biden says it, it'll definitely hit the algorithm. Biden, look at you, you're a lying, two-faced dog, pony soldier. Nobody is looking at, they don't obsess over any absurd thing he says, any bizarre, weird, creepy, nauseating thing he does or says. They don't obsess over, but Trump drinks water. Oh my God, it's morally relative. Biden said he was running for Senate, but Trump drinks water in a bizarre way. It's the same thing, don't you know? It's the same thing. It's like, no, it's not. You're just arrogant, and you're a narcissist, and you're a Democrat. And that's why you think everything's morally relative, or everything's relative. On a tense, chaotic night, the eyes of the nation trained on the Iowa primary. We'll just use that word. The state's Democratic Party was counting on a new smartphone app to make everything go smoothly. Revco! I have to wonder how much longer America will put up with rules for thee, but not for me. Personally, I doubt anything will happen to these people. When President Trump wins again, it can definitely, there will be repercussions, legal repercussions. But I agree with you. There's the double standard is unbelievable. The double standard is unbelievable. And this double standard is it's almost like it's what makes them influential, or it's one of the benefits of having the media on your side and having these corrupt intelligence officials on your side, but it's also their Achilles heel, because they're constantly rewarded for criminal conduct or corrupt behavior. At the end of the day, it's not sustainable. None of this, the way they engage in politics, the way they do politics is not sustainable. Revco, thank you so very, very much, Revco. Thank you. Ever wonder, ladies and gentlemen, Revco, everybody here, ever wonder why app made by Clinton campaign veterans firm is behind Iowa debacle? Los Angeles Times, February 4th, 2020. In 2016, for the first time, precinct chairs use a smartphone app to relay results to party headquarters, enabling faster reporting than communicating via telephone hotline. What? Does that make any sense at all? The brainiacs in the DNC are like, we need a way to communicate faster than a telephone. Do you have a way? Because everything's totally fair. And we would never cheat Bernie Sanders again, which is why Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in disgrace. What can we do that would speed up everything and not have 3 days of chaos and mayhem because an app was designed by former Clinton campaign officials? But what can we do? Because we need enabling faster reporting than communicating via telephone hotline. What is this, like the original Batman series? It's the Bat phone, Batman. What is it, like a red glowing phone? Bernie Sanders is behind Mayor Pete by 1 vote. That's too long. It takes too long. So they wanted something to speed up the process. They wanted something to speed up the process. Enabling faster reporting than communicating via telephone hotline. My God, the Democrats are always cutting edge. They're always so hip. And they're always so willing to adopt the newest practices to make everything streamlined and efficient. Yeah. This year, with the state party promising to disclose more granular data. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my God, the meltdown is going to be so good. It's going to be so good. This year, with the state party promising to disclose more granular data. Why did you use an app that you didn't find the person who won, the winner of Iowa for like 3 days? We needed more granular data. We needed to have more granular data, and we didn't want to communicate via the telephone hotline. Oh, okay. The job of coding the app went to a fledgling tech firm run by veterans of Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. Good. I'm glad they cheated. I'm glad. No. You understand? I don't care. I'm voting for Trump. What do I care? You think I care? I hope they cheat forever. This is what the left is all about. I love it. Do you understand how much I love it? Mad Cow Mark! Mad Cow Mark, thank you. Mad Cow Mark, thank you so very, very, very much, Mad Cow Mark. I hope all is well. Thank you as always for watching. I hope all is well. I'm going to check out, let's see, one of the amazing, John said Hillary's trending on Twitter. So, Mad Cow Mark, thank you very, very much as always. I hope all is well. And God bless President Trump. It's getting dicey. Nothing is more dangerous than getting on the bad side of morally superior liberals. It's getting dicey, but here, let's see. Mad Count Mark, thank you. So Trump Jr. is going on Hunter. Biden finally gives Hillary Clinton room for money when it comes to corruption. Something's going on. I feel a disturbance in the force. I'm telling you. There's something going on, and I don't care if Biden accepts the nomination, doesn't get the nomination, Clinton, who cares? I feel a disturbance in the force. Something's going to take place, and it ain't going to be, Biden is not going to be the nominee. It's going to be Hillary Clinton. She's the best they have. She's the best. She has the gravitas. She has the intelligence. She has the wisdom. God bless you, Revco. Thank you. Revco. God bless you, Revco. Thank you. You know what? The only thing, I want Revco here. I want Matt Calmark here. I want Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, Jimbo, everybody here, Deplorable Brian, everybody here, November 3rd. November 3rd. Oh, Lord, what did I do? Oh, Lord, I just did something weird. On the back end of this stream. I want everybody here on November 3rd. Revco, thank you. Everybody here on November 3rd, because November 3rd, they ain't going to win. And also the thing is this. In the small percentage chance that Trump loses, he can run again. So he'll run again in 2024. And it'll be very interesting. Because you see, after President Trump, the Republican Party is done also. They have nobody. Because what they did to Trump, they will also do to a Republican. That's the funny thing. Like, people like Mitt Romney are like, oh, they'll just treat me. They'll just report on my dog that I put on the top of my car. What's the problem? No. They're going to be as apoplectic as they were, because now they're like stuck in that mode. Matt Calmark, thank you again. If he loses, I'm saying if he loses. I'm not saying that 2024, if he obviously wins, he can't go for the third term. If he loses. There's a lot of buzz. There's a lot of buzz right now. There's a lot of buzz going on. And so they would get crushed with Biden. I don't see how that could even happen, because my thinking is the following: like, you're dealing with a couple that will never stop trying to attain. You mean to tell me that Biden was too formidable of a political opponent? I'm looking at the Libertarian candidate. I will defund federal involvement in policing. Okay. Jordan Weinberg. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Jordan Weinberg. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for watching, Jordan Weinberg. Thank you. Hope all is well. Hope all is well, Jordan Weinberg. Thank you. So, this is Jordan. Thank you very, very much. I find it very difficult. So I don't understand something. If Biden were to pick Kamala Harris, California senator, does that help Democrats win California? There's zero chance Trump or any Republican for a long time wins California. So what would the point be? I don't understand. She didn't even make it into Iowa. So where is the national base of support for Kamala Harris? I don't understand. Like, she withheld exculpatory evidence, and she then went after Biden as being a racist, which, of course, everyone goes after Biden for his racism, but then you're not racist. Trump is, because he said something in 2015. Pretty much. And then, he said both sides were fine people. No, he didn't. Notice that they they fabricate subtext and intent when they don't have any, they don't have the actual quote from Trump, but they know what he really meant. But then, President Trump, first, he's allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, than any president ever, including President Obama in his first term. So in President Trump's first term, he gave more money to historically black colleges and universities than any other president in their first terms. So how is this? Is Trump is a racist monster? How is that? How does that correlate to reality? And he never said both sides had fine people, meaning the overt, horrible monster racists were fine people. That was completely fabricated in the hysteria pertaining to that day, because Democrats finally had that moment where they could see it was that visceral, oh my God, see, good versus evil, and we're on the side of good, and Trump said something good about those bad people, and then, oh my God, Trump did, and this is why we lost, and they deluded themselves yet again into believing they're on the side of justice. Jordan, thank you very, very much. Jasher! A tragedy, an absolute tragedy that God bless the people of Lebanon. God bless them. An absolute tragedy. And a very bizarre, the whole thing is really bizarre. Why all of that material was there. Of course, there are, there are different, theories as to why, but God bless the people of Lebanon. God bless them. And I did, Jasher, and God bless President Trump. He has to be safe. He has to be safe from here on out, because Democrats like to the media and the Democratic Party are so hysterical that if anyone, they usually say Trump is forcing bad people to do bad things with his words. It's no, you spent 4 years obsessing over how horrific Trump was. So now media and Democrats own, if God forbid there's some kind of, I don't even want to go there, but getting back to, you have a smart app or an app that was linked. It turned out to be a crushing failure. Throughout the long night, precinct chairs found themselves unable to get the app to work. Yeah, this was by design, almost certainly. This is almost certainly by design. So I find it very difficult to see Biden eventually going up against Trump when he couldn't even win Iowa, New Hampshire, or Nevada. I find it very difficult. Then when Biden started winning, he then became inevitable, and then Bernie Sanders became, just a dream. The media is fickle. They'll turn on a dime. It won't take much for Clinton to be nominee eventually. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. I find it very, very difficult. Jasher, thank you. Jordan, thank you so very much. Jordan Weinberg, thank you. Jasher, thank you. I find it very difficult to believe that all of this was simply, just all of it from Debbie Wasserman Schultz being forced to resign in disgrace to the app in Iowa linked to Clinton campaign officials. You can't possibly get a more overt charade and racket. And honestly, like, I don't care anymore. I'm voting for President Trump, but I just want, like, I'm tired of the theatrical performance that gets people to really believe that they have some kind of functioning political party. A functioning political party doesn't nominate Biden. And it's not just because of the fact that he communicates like an exhumed body, or he looks like a cadaver that got plastic surgery and Botox. I find it very difficult to believe that this is a man who never had a base of support ever. He still doesn't. The only reason that he won was because he's not Bernie Sanders, and they waited in the rain during a pandemic to ensure they wouldn't get Medicare for all. There's a Green Party for people on the left, but of course that's not fashionable enough, so they don't actually engage or join the one political party that could get them to where they want by forcing the Democratic Party in a direction they want. Political leverage. They join the Green Party, build it up, and then Democrats have to cater to what the Green Party says because they don't win elections if they don't. But it's like, I find it very difficult to believe that this is actually happening. And that's why I don't believe this is actually happening. There's no way that they're going to go, even if Biden is nominated before the debates, they're not going to roll in Biden with Trump. If Clinton won every debate, let's just, with the shimmy. Oh, yes, the shimmy. She won the shimmy. She won every debate. Okay? Because there was the shimmy. And she won every single debate, still lost to Trump. So Biden is going to do what? Lose every debate and then win? The polls are completely off. A couple weeks before the 2016 election, Clinton was up by 10 points. So what? I love, it's like this mass amnesia. They already were proved, the polls already proved to be completely irrelevant. They were off. And, towards the end, they did get, a day before, it showed that what was it, Hillary up 3 points nationally. So you spent 2 years, basically, about a year and a half, every day, Clinton up 20 points, up 17, up. There was, like I said, one poll up 17, Siena College poll. That's not science. These are scientific polls. You don't get. How was that poll conducted? Of course, it was primarily Democratic-leaning voters. These polls are meant to create support, not reflect the existing support. Polls are not in 20 years ago, even 15 years ago, before everyone had a phone, before everyone had a choice of news outlet that there's like 20, 30, 40 different news outlets you could listen to. Okay, whether it's YouTube or on the internet or whatever, or just on television, cable. You can. Not everybody has the same viewpoints on life, and society is more fragmented in terms of our viewpoints on the world. So you're not going to have this completely random. It's not scientific. These polls are not scientific at all. So you're not going to get an accurate description, especially nowadays, or an accurate reflection of reality. Trump supporters are not answering the phone. If it's CNN, they are not going to answer the phone or take a poll. They're just not going to do it generally. So you have a huge, if Biden is up 15% or 10%, that's because a whole lot of Trump supporters weren't answering the phone. But I find it very hard to believe that they spent so much time cheating, and then just suddenly in 2020, they're pure as the driven snow, and they're based on the political party's based solely on meritocracy. I mean, you have people writing still today. Oh my God, this is. Every single day, I resent Americans who didn't vote for Hillary. Oh my God! You look at, and then they keep saying, they keep talking about the failure of Trump to respond to the crisis. He couldn't tell the governors of New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and a couple other Democratic states what to do. So, like, what on March 1st? Andrew Cuomo of New York's governor tweeted out, "The risk remains low," on March 1st. There's no need for undue anxiety in New York. How on earth is this Trump's fault? How on earth? And then he put infected people in old age homes. How on earth is this Trump's fault? And they opposed his travel restrictions in January. And New York was suing President Trump because of travel restrictions in February. So they have no shame. So, they've convinced themselves of the most absurd things. Ellie Issa, loving tonight's live stream. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciated. The kind words and the generosity means a great deal to me, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And sometimes you don't know how you're doing in terms of like a live stream, and you're like, oh, I hope everybody likes it, because I can't always see the comments. Sometimes I do, but Ellie, thank you so very, very, very much. Means a lot. We have a lot of fun. I mean, I'm going to go for a little less than an hour more, and it's this is really fun because you get to I get to decompress with everyone here and kind of process the day's endless propaganda with everybody. So it's good. Thank you again, Ellie Issa, thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you. The kind words are definitely important. It's actually really fun because, okay, hold on. Eric H526. Ellie, thank you again. Michael H. I don't agree with you about Hillary win, but I'm sure they will postpone everything until her. They believe they already are. Michael H. I believe they already are. I think that I think that people don't change. Michael H. Thank you. I don't think people change. And if you got that close, Michael H., thank you again, as always. William R. Abrams III. Me and Mr. Tiny are having a great time. My Chihuahua, Mr. Tiny. William R. Abrams III. Hello. Hello. Yes. Please say hello to the Chihuahua named Mr. Tiny. Yes. Oh, my goodness. whatever happens, like if they're incompetent, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Hillary's going to be debating Trump and across that ballot, and I've always said that. But I will have made the biggest political call of all time. But whatever happens, let's just say the 1% chance they're actually incompetent and foolish enough to actually go with Biden, they're going to get decimated. Elisa, thank you. Thank you again. Michael H., thank you again. William R. Abrams III, thank you as always. There's a lot of buzz going around. It's interesting too because everyone is enamored with Biden's vice president pick for vice president because they know he's like completely out to lunch. So on one hand they say, "Oh yeah, Trump can't drink water," and then with the same breath they're like, "Oh my God, please, who's the vice president? Who's the pick? Oh my God, who's the vice president pick?" Because they know that like this person is. We all know what's going on. Everyone knows what's going on. And they have just enough time. Well, they have 9 days, 8 days, a little over, like just a day over, like a little over a week. They know what's going on. They have the media also. And if you look, oh my God, I'm watching. If you look at like what really is taking place, Democrats have not increased their support. Democrats have simply all they've done is simply they have not increased their support in terms of a broader base of appeal. What they've done is they've gotten their existing voting base more apoplectic and hysterical than usual. They're already completely hysterical and apoplectic. That's on like just a normal election season. Ellie, thank you so very, very much. Wally, Jimbo! Walls closing in on Biden's senility convenient. Yep. The walls are closing in. They're timing this perfectly. I don't think they have to time it even. I think that they're probably, they're probably the producers and the directors of this entire theatrical performance. So, I mean, it's natural that they would time everything perfectly. Michael H. Jimbo, thank you as always. Michael H. Nothing ever really does change, but some reports are showing that the leading VP pick is dependent on how much money they bring in. Yeah, I mean, that's the racket part. If that's the case, then Elizabeth Warren. But, I mean, nobody brings in more money than Clinton. Let me tell you something. This channel, look, I'm not changing my tune, but this channel is definitely going to be the place to be. It already is. I mean, we have 600 people now. It's like we're just talking about, everything under the sun, and I have the most wonderful people, Michael H., Ellie, Jimbo, everyone here. We're having a great time. We have almost 600 people now, but this channel and H.A. Goodman's other channel will really be the places to be. If Clinton becomes vice president, because she'll be the nominee eventually. I don't know how it's going to happen, but if she becomes his VP pick, oh my God. This will be the place to be. Because then you know it's right around the corner. Then you know it's right around the corner. They're going to lose miserably. You can't have voter turnout in cities. Like, Trump hasn't said anything in a long time that's, well, has he? everything Trump says is completely outrageous and offensive. Biden is the one, if you've noticed, Biden is the one lately saying really, truly offensive things. Biden is the one saying truly offensive things. And the media is in overdrive, trying to sweep everything he says under the rug. The media is just completely in overdrive, sweeping everything he says under the rug. And you look at what President Trump is doing, it's like, well, there's a cyber world without Twitter. What does the Democratic Party have? They have, the MSNBC and CNN pundits, but Fox News gets more viewers than either of them. So, what do they have? Why would, aside from not voting Republican, just forget about, there are people who vote Republican, there are people who vote Democrat. That's always going to happen, and you're always going to, Mitt Romney got 60 million votes. Mitt Romney got 60 million votes. You're always going to, you're not ever going to have, you're not ever going to have one political side just not exist. But how many people are saying, okay, well, I didn't vote for Clinton last election, but I'm definitely voting Democrats now because Biden is so inspiring. How many people are saying, I didn't like Clinton because the people who didn't vote for Clinton aren't going to vote for Biden? Dr. Robert Shealy! Biden's VP pick will be the one that the deep state has the most black because they have to control them. Think about it. That's true. Well, it could be. Or it could be like Clinton, like a pact with the devil type thing. But I mean, how much do they have on, let's say, Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris? I think that is definitely relevant. Perhaps in terms of once an establishment person is in office, or a senator, for example, or a congressperson or a senator, anyone who tries to perhaps, do something, outside of the prevailing paradigm. Prevailing political paradigm. Like with Trump, they don't have anything on him, but they try to set him up and frame him. But I do agree with you. That is a tactic that they would use. I just don't know, Biden's VP pick, you have Willie Brown today saying that Kamala Harris should not accept the nomination. So if Willie Brown is saying that Kamala Harris should not accept the nomination, they're not going to choose Elizabeth Warren. If they do, that would be hilarious, absolutely hilarious. They'd basically be giving up. Antonio, hello. That would leave Clinton. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm wondering, why would Clinton be in the news every single day for 3 years? There has not been a day where she hasn't been interviewed or, pumping a book she's always in the news in a positive light. She's been running a parallel campaign. She'll be the nominee eventually. And God bless her. Dr. Robert Shealy, I definitely agree with you regarding the getting the goods on people. That's important, for really corrupt actors within politics. William R. Abrams III. I am afraid Mr. Tiny will vote for Biden if he gets the mail-in vote. That's hilarious. Anyone who has a Chihuahua named Mr. Tiny is awesome. Is absolutely awesome. So, William R. Abrams III, you are awesome. Deplorable Brian, people vote against Trump because they don't like his personality. That's it. That's just it. They don't like his personality. And also, it's interesting, like, what do Democrats, the worst thing to ever happen to the Democratic Party, the worst thing is Twitter. It is the absolute worst thing. After this election, when Trump wins again, because you know Trump voters are mailing in ballots, and you know they're going to be showing up, and, you know, people are going to be waiting in the rain, in the snow, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. A great many people showed up for Biden, not because of Biden, because he wasn't Bernie Sanders and he wasn't Trump. But so much has happened since then. Like, they say, well, Biden had a record in terms of, he outperformed Clinton in the primaries. Or it's like, well, you had 3 years of the most obsessive, compulsive media spin regarding Trump, that he was going to end humanity as we know it. And they were petrified that Bernie Sanders could possibly win because they didn't think Bernie could defeat Trump, and he couldn't. Not this year. In 2016, I do believe that Bernie Sanders would have won, not because he would be a better president. President Trump is a great president, and he's, thank God, a lot better than Bernie Sanders would have been, because Democrats say jump, Bernie says how high. But at that moment in time, you had populist versus populist. At that moment in time, you had, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. At that moment in time, even I was swept up. I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet. I was swept up in the belief, the dream / nightmare, this kind of fantasy world. I was swept up in terms of this fantasy that Bernie Sanders was somebody who would fight. And then they say, whoa, can you go from Bernie to Trump? Oh, the policies overlap. Are you kidding? In terms of foreign policy, in terms of economic policy, in terms of the executive orders that Trump signed, they overlap. The social media marketing is completely different. Completely different. So you have more of you just have a whole bunch of nonsense that helped tank Bernie Sanders' campaign. But the reason I was trying to say, and I forgot this, the reason that Biden eventually won is because Bernie didn't win Iowa. Had he won all 3 contests, he would have won South Carolina, or had done a lot better. Mark Moth! I had a white applehead chihuahua named Rambo. He was awesome. Mark Moth. Rambo is another great name for a chihuahua. Yes, Mr. Tiny or Rambo for a chihuahua. I mean, what could be better? Mark Moth, thank you. Mark Moth, thank you. Michael H. Does Hillary actually have to win the election to win? Showing herself could project her into a new powerhouse. Plus, if the D loses, she can save face. That's true. No, I agree with you. There's no way Clinton loses. She just has to. I mean, she'll lose the election, but I agree with you. She can actually come out on top. Like, hey, you know what? I didn't even really want to run. You went to me. I'm telling you, I will not. I'm telling you, on November 2nd, Michael H., everyone here, it could be November 3rd. It could be Trump already defeated Biden, and I'll say Clinton will be nominee. We'll go back in time. He'll defeat Clinton. We can do this, people. Let's do this. Come on. I am not I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. I know exactly what the Democratic Party is about. That's why I'm voting for Trump. That's one of the reasons. The main reason is foreign policy. Trump is bringing home American soldiers. He's removing them from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts and removing them from the potential of greater conflict with Russia and other countries. He's reversing failed foreign policy. But there's this bizarre buzz. Like if they go with anyone but Clinton, it'll be like wah wah wah. If they go with Elizabeth Warren, it will be like a laughter soundtrack. Michael H., great point. Thank you. And also, like, they seem to think, like, people, the majority of Americans are a lot more media savvy than they ever were. And so we had record low unemployment. Then we had a pandemic that is affecting, and unemployment is affecting blue states more so as well. So you have blue states that have the most unemployment and the most cases and lives lost from the pandemic. How do they get away with everything? Then they blame Trump. Oh, Trump, this could have been averted with Trump's if we had better leadership. Nothing Trump says, anything he has said regarding this, anything he has said has immediately been anything he has said has immediately been challenged. They set Trump up for failure, even though he's been winning. But in their minds, they've set him up for failure. When Clinton says, gosh, I was hoping for the best. I mean, does anyone believe this? This is why I want... Trump is the AFC champion. Biden is not the NFC champion. So we're going into the Super Bowl. We already have our number one team. They're not even going with the team that won that won the conference championship. So it's like he can say that he won the primary, but he didn't. What did he do? He didn't even have a traditional rally where there was not one crowd. Was there one crowd that Biden spoke to? Not really. Maybe when he was trying to remember the Declaration of Independence and he said, you know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. No, it's like Morpheus. Like, you know the thing. Come on, man. Come on, man. So, what they're trying to do is they just continually, like, they never gave him a chance to actually be a president, or they in their minds. Obviously, he's been a great president in my book. A great president. Signed the First Step Act, reversed U.S. foreign policy, addressed the $400 billion trade deficit with China. We had record low unemployment. We had record low Black and Latino unemployment. Biden is doing worse among Black and Latino voters than Clinton. So that's one thing I don't think that they're going to disregard. Biden has zero grassroots support. Zero. Biden's support is predicated upon contempt for Trump and fear of Bernie Sanders. That's it. He has zero grassroots support. So he's not traveling to Milwaukee. They're going to have a virtual convention. I mean, there's nothing traditional about this. What would make anybody think that they're just going to, the notion that they say, oh, well, they would never, switch within midstream or whatever. It's like, why? Why would they not? Why would they not go with Clinton? Jimbo! Dem voters would have loved Jim Jones. Yeah, exactly. They would have loved it. Hi-Fi, they would have loved him. Hi-Fi Trucker. My chihuahua's name is Pee-wee. Hi-Fi Trucker. Pee-wee's a great name, too. Pee-wee's a great name, too. Pee-wee's a great name, too. Pee-wee, Rambo, and Mr. Tiny. Mr. Tiny. Any pet name with Mr. or Mrs. is great. It's just great. Hillary 2020. It's still on Twitter. Okay, let's see here. Hi-Fi Trucker. Thank you, Hi-Fi Trucker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what can we say? It's been a fantastic evening. Think I might shut it down in the next couple of minutes. Again, if you want to be part of a newsletter, this is going to be very important from here on out. You'll be notified of live streams. You'll be notified of uploads. You'll be notified of anything that, I'm up to. So it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. Email me there if you want to be part of a newsletter. Contactgoodman78@gmail.com. And so any new awesome projects that I'm up to, or, at least you'll get... If sometimes you don't get verification, if you don't get notifications, so make sure ladies and gentlemen, on your cell phone, make sure you get YouTube notifications and all notifications. But come on, man. Hello, anonymous. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. God bless to my super chat. Thank you. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you very much. Everyone, thanks so much. We have not, I'm going to repeat this. This is not election season. We have not started election season. Okay, we have not started election season. And we will start election season very soon. Hillary Clinton is going to be across. She'll eventually be nominee. There's no way that they allow Biden to debate President Trump, because it would be it would be a great white shark versus a guppy. An orange great white shark versus like a goldfish. Give me your thoughts below, everyone. God bless to my super chat. Thank you. Everyone, thank you so very much. William R. Abrams III. We need a Chihuahua party after show. William R. Abrams III, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Mark, thank you. Jimbo, thank you. Mad Cow Mark, thank you. Hi-Fi Trucker, thank you as always. Michael H., thank you. Mark Moore, thank you. Dr. Robert Sheely, thank you. Jimbo, everyone, thank you so very much. Have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. See you tomorrow, everyone. Be here every evening, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific. It'll start for my epic live streams in the evening.